Hi there, welcome to year one. This is the entrance that you'd be coming into in September. You'd obviously just drop your children off here, and then I or my teaching assistant, Mrs. Nolder, will be standing at the door waiting for your child. Okay, if you'd like to come in, I'm going to show you around the classroom and just talk about our approach to year one, and hopefully it will answer lots of questions. If you do have any more questions, please don't hesitate to ring the school or email me. I'll be really happy to answer any other queries. All right, if we go in. So this is the first area that the children will come into. I'll just show you around it a little bit. On here we've got a little section here with all of their names on, and what we've got here is a little challenge card. This is something that they'll have a little challenge each day that they'll have to be able to complete and do it really well, and when they get that, they get a little star. Now this will start off at a really basic level, just to get them used to the idea, and then throughout the year we'll progress and make the things more challenging. So that would then go, when they filled it, it would go in there, and by the end of the week we'd really celebrate a full challenge card and we'd celebrate it with you. So if we move on to here, we've actually got a really good system here, which they did in Oak class, which is a self-register. So they come in the morning, Alfie would find his name, it would be in a basket, and he puts it on, and then we know that Alfie's there, just to keep on promoting that incredible independence that they got really, really good at in Oak class, and also just to kind of keep things similar so they know what to expect when they come in. Now in this space, this is a really fantastic space. We've got this great table here which we can use for our guided reading sessions. So guided reading will be a little bit different in year one. I will be taking half the class, doing some whole class reading, and then Mrs. Nolder will be doing some small guided reading with the children 3 times a week in small groups of 4. If we have a look down here, this is obviously where they put their coats, their cloakroom, all their bags. We try and keep it as tidy as possible and really, really install in the children to look after all of their things and make them as independent as possible. Right, our next place we're going to go into is we're actually going to go into the classroom, and I'm going to talk about the layout of the classroom and why we chose to do it that way. So, right, so I'm actually really proud of this classroom. I actually think it's a fantastic space because it can be incredibly flexible. One thing that you'll notice is obviously the layout is a little bit different to in Oak class, but there are more demands on year one students. Our main goal in year one is to help the transition from reception and then all the way through into being ready for year 2, in which they'll have their key stage 1 assessments. But obviously there's a whole year in the middle of that. So what we've decided to do is have the tables out in groups of 4. Obviously there's a bigger table here. We will have little different challenges on the tables for children to complete. When we do an input, I will be having half the class in here doing a phonics input, and Mrs. Nolder will be in the other classroom, which I'll show you in a minute, with another group of children. That just means that we can really focus on these children to really help them progress at their level and for what their needs are. When we come over here, we decided it was really, really important to make sure all those fantastic creativity skills are still used in year 1. So we've decided to have the easel and the paints that they can use independently. We would set them a challenge. That would be another thing that could go on their challenge card. Obviously, one concern that parents have is that they feel like in year 1 there isn't any learning through play. That's absolutely not the case at all. All of the children that I have spoken to about year 1, from their experience of year 1, feel like all the learning is just like one big game. It's made really, really fun. Obviously, when they join in the autumn term, they do need lots and lots of breaks and lots of times where they can just be free to express themselves, to play in different ways. So what we've done, we've adapted this area here in which they can use the building blocks, the small world. They can different construction things. They've got counters, they've got books, we've got the teepee. On these beautiful trays, which are going to be where they put their bags, we're going to have all of our things to do with our Stone Age, which is going to be our topic next year. So lots and lots of interactive things that the children can use and express themselves and to progress their learning in that way. I found from my experience this is a really fantastic balance at the start of year one, because obviously it is a long transition, and I would probably expect the first half term to be just about them learning through play, taking them time, having different challenges, and just learning about how to be in year one. So if I just move around to this side here, on this section here we have all of the resources they would need for when they're doing maths. We've got paper, scissors, all of those things, and we would encourage them to be independently going and getting them. Now, this is what happens when I go over to this section here. This is where we're going to keep all of our books. In year one, we do a full curriculum. So we do geography, history, science. This is a really exciting opportunity for children. And it's something that I think they absolutely adore, particularly learning about significant individuals in history. I'll be really interested if they love learning about Samuel Pepys as much as this current class did. So obviously we do have a lot of books. That's where they're stored at the moment. Initially in the autumn term, they probably won't be using the majority of them. What we do is spend a lot of time helping them work out how to present their work. So initially there'll be very, very minimal work in books, but then it will progress throughout the year. So then by the end of the year, they are ready, they can present their work, and that means that they're ready to follow on in their curriculum journey throughout the school. So that's everything I'd like to show you in here. In a minute I'm going to go into the other classroom just to show you what the layout is there and why we think that's an important part of our year one. This is the classroom that will be primarily used for group work. So that is where we are doing team teaching. I will have 15 children in the other class. Mrs. Nolde will have 15 children here, or vice versa, and we were working on very, very specific skills. Some of those skills might be lots of gross motor skills. Obviously, this is a fantastic flexible space where we can move around, really get all those gross motor skills going, particularly if some children still need that aspect of learning. We can also do lots and lots of fine motor skills. We can do small group phonics in here. But yes, it's a really, really fantastic space just to use in a very flexible way. So that just really helps us in teaching with the range of needs in year one. We really feel that it's so important for children to still use this outdoor space as part of their transition from reception to year one. It's a really great area to promote all of those team building skills, their gross motor skills, to run and jump and be creative in the outdoors, and I just think it's a really, really key part of their year one development.
Hello Miss Morris and welcome to Question Time.
Well, hello Grace Cairns, it's an absolute joy to be here with you this morning.
Do you like year one?
Do I like year one? I absolutely love year one. I actually think it's the best class to teach in the whole school because we have so much fun from the very first day.
Could you live without Mrs. Nolde?
Could I live without Mrs. Nolde? No. Mrs. Nolde is one of the best teaching assistants I've ever had. She is so wonderful, kind, caring, and I know that if children need someone to talk to, Mrs. Nolde's always there to help. She's also there for me too.
How do you make it fun?
How do I make it fun? Well, as you can tell, I'm actually a very fun person. But amongst that, I also do lots and lots of games in all of our learning. So in maths, it's full of games. We have lots of spelling and writing, but I make it really, really, really fun. And also in the first couple of weeks of the autumn term, it's just about getting to know people and doing lots of little challenges, and there's lots and lots of play in that. What is your favourite thing about year one?
History.
Is history? You don't do history in year one, do you?
Yes, I do.
No. Right, well, what's something that you've learnt in history so far? What have you been doing this term?
Mr. Pepys.
Mr. Pepys? Do you mean Samuel Pepys?
Yeah.
Why was he famous?
Because he said he made a diary of fire in London.
He made a diary about the fire of London. Well, that sounds totally cool. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so that's something you've really enjoyed in year one.
What's my favourite thing about year one is doing maths, because Miss Morris always makes it fun And she always lets us do activities.
Oh, lovely. Okay, so for a new year one person, what would be your top tip? Maybe they're feeling a little bit scared.
Yeah, and Miss Morris does make it fun.
Oh, fantastic.
And Mrs. Nolder is always there to help you.
Oh, lovely. So do you think there's any need to be scared?
No.
Have you enjoyed year one?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you've enjoyed?
Geography.
Not geography too. You haven't been doing geography and history, have you?
Yes.
Have you been learning about the United Kingdom?
Yes.
Did you like it when we used the maps?
Yes.
Brilliant. What is your favourite thing that you have done in year one?
Math games and sport games.
Maths games and spag games, but that's learning. Is that not boring? Why is it so fun?
Because we're doing like games and it feels like I'm playing and stuff.
Wow, so do we still do lots of play in year one? Oh, that's exciting. Okay, so if for the new year one people, they might be feeling a bit scared. So what do you think is going to be a top tip for them?
They might like all the games and stuff.
Yeah, so if they really like playing in Oak Class and learning through play, we still do lots of that in year one, don't we? Lovely. Are you looking forward to year two, Charlie? I can tell you're really ready and you've made so much progress with your reading. It's been fantastic. Can you give a double thumbs up and say good luck, year one?
Good luck, year one.
Lovely.
Good luck, year one.
Brilliant. Okay.